How are you, Lisa? I hear you.
Hey, this is my version of a hat. I know, Patrick, you lost your hat. I
But
thought
I
about
got
bringing a
hair.
hat.
That's
I
my
lost
Oh,
the hat,
that's
but I
my
got hair.
you got hair, huh? Let me fix mine.
my son. Whenever he's gaming, he's like, I'll go into his room and I'll say embarrassing stuff over the microphone, and so he tries to grab that switch to turn it off as fast as he can because he's on the stuff with all his buddy. I'm like, he plays Xbox in his underpants, and he gets all embarrassed. So.
Lisa,
We
you look like you are a gamer now with those headphones. They so professional.
Hey, that's gonna be the front photo. Hey, Patrick, we're so excited to have you back. How was your trip?
Thank you. My trip was good. I really enjoyed it. I haven't been there in a very long time. It's nice to go back and see my hometown. And I also went to other countries. We went to Poland, Croatia, Germany, and some other places too. So it was nice.
Pretty neat to see.
Yeah, thank you.
You have such a nice following, and so many people respect you and everything you've done. But to be quite honest with you, I had no idea that you had quit your full time job and went to this full time. I want to hear all about that journey and how that happened. I know that you'd been working on some stuff for a long time, but I didn't realize that that was part of that goal.
I didn't really announce it anywhere or make a big deal, and the big reason why is because I was scared that if it doesn't work out, I make a big announcement and and it doesn't work out. So what I'm gonna do then? March this year, I decided to go full time on drop shipping. Since then, what is it now? October. So I've been doing fine. Here I am. So it's a little bit. I'm still kind of nervous sometimes, especially if something doesn't work on Facebook Marketplace. I just don't do Facebook itself. I also do eBay, and I have a YouTube channel. So like all of these things combined, if Facebook is not doing great, I have another sources of income. But I can't complain. It's pretty good.
I'm actually really proud of you because when you think about all the people that do have to go back to work from being full time online, and you did the absolute opposite of that. That's actually a huge kudos to you and everybody who supports you. I mean, I think it's awesome.
Thank you first of all, but I really like this lifestyle that I have right now. It's pretty it's good to be your own boss, but I've been doing this since the beginning of 2020 pretty much. I had a full-time job. I was going to work for 8 9 hours, whatever, stuck in traffic for 2 hours, and then going back home and doing drop shipping and then doing YouTube too. So like there was a lot of unslept nights and stuff like that. I kind of stopped taking care of myself too. Now I'm kind of back to actually like working out and stuff like that. But those 2 years were kind of tough, and I'm glad that I made the decision. It was scary, and I'm still kind of nervous, but it's good right now. And I don't at least things for me, they don't seem to be going bad, especially now since we have the Q4. Sales should pick up, and I already kind of see this happening. I'm not that nervous. I'm nervous, but not that nervous.
We kind of talk a little bit about what is the state of the market on Facebook Marketplace, and what do you foresee for Q4 and how things are working right now with Facebook Marketplace?
That's a great question that I don't know how to answer properly, because I don't know what's the future of Facebook Marketplaces. But I will tell you what I think and what I think about Q4. Okay. So Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops, all of that, it's like a testing ground. It's all new. Even though it's been around forever, it still feels like this is being tested out.
Like we're a big
Nobody,
beta.
yes, yes. There's a lot of signs that point to that. Like, for example, they roll out the shipping option in UK, but now they're taking it back, probably because they tested out the product in different country and maybe it wasn't as popular as in US. They
Or
test out.
I've
Uh-huh.
even thought about maybe it's could be like a government thing. Like maybe there's certain laws or things that need to happen that they're not prepared for yet, or don't feel like they want to participate in. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, that might be that too, maybe they need to prepare some regulations or laws, and then they can go back with the shipping option. Because right now it seems like US is the only country that has it. It used to be UK. I'm not sure if Australia had it. I think they did too. I think it's go back to US now. So it's clearly a testing run right now. And this the same thing with the algorithm. A few months ago, you could make a claim that Facebook shops was the way to go because like they were getting all these attention and stuff like that. Now it seems like it's a reverse. It's going back to Facebook Marketplace. At least that's the case with me. My Facebook Marketplace is getting more attention than the shops. It's a big testing round. The near future, I'm not sure what's the near future gonna look like. The long-term future, I think there's a potential here. I don't think this is gonna be an Amazon, but I think the Facebook Marketplace thing is gonna be more like OfferUp or like Craigslist, but with the shipping option. I think they want a piece of the pie, of the e-commerce pie, maybe not a big piece, but small piece. That's why we are like they experiment. This experimentation comes with benefits too. It's not just like there are bad stuff. Like I think that's the main reason why I love Facebook Marketplace. Just you can either pay 0 fees or 5% fee, and you don't see that on other marketplaces. And they don't charge you for listing fees either. Like on eBay, they do. So like that's really cool that even if I sell 1 item or 2 items a day, I can make extra 30, $50, whatever, depends on your items you're selling and the profit margins you have. It's an easy, quick money that, it's an extra $60 or something a day. All the other platforms, I have to pay higher fees, and it's a little bit different.
I have a couple of side businesses now, and I've gotten into Etsy a little bit for some of my handmade stuff, and it's taken off slow. Basically, my sales are paying for the listing fee that I get from listing other products, and so every week or every month when I get my payout, it's just covering the listing fees for all the other items that didn't sell. Facebook is still really low barrier to get into.
I agree with you, because for a beginner starting and getting into something, and whether you're a reseller or a drop shipper, it's the best place to start. I do want to point out something, because you were talking about listing fees. Right now, I think we all kind of agree that we're still kind of all feel like we're in a beta testing situation with Facebook Marketplace. It's 5% or 0% if you're on shops still. How much does it cost to run a business? How much does it cost to take credit cards? The cost to take credit cards, the cost to do what they are charging us is less than what it would cost us if we did it on our own. If you have your own shop and you don't have your own following, for example, you have your own website, you don't have your own following, you don't have any of that stuff, you've got to pay for your website, you got to pay for your credit card fees, you have to pay for all of that stuff, you have to pay for advertising to get the business, you have to do all of that stuff to get things in and get things rolling in. The cost per transaction is more than 5% of the total.
Yeah, I would say, just credit card processing is what, if you're a low volume seller, it's like 2.5%. That's if you get a good deal. I'm just guessing. I think it's somewhere around that. So there's half that 5% right there just to process the credit card transactions. I'm sure obviously Facebook gets a better deal because they're, it's huge volume, but just a portion of that is going straight to credit card processing.
Right, and not to mention the sales tax that has to be put into all the states. You've got to hire all those people to do all of that. All of that stuff is basically done. We still might have to, figure out with our accountant what our own nexuses is for each state. But the cost and the barrier of entry is so low, it's basically free on Facebook Marketplace. Even though you have a lot of crazy things and glitches and stuff that happen, we're really still kind of a beta system here.
Just like you guys mentioned, there's so many extra fees when you run this on your own. And I think one of the biggest one that we didn't mention is the marketing. Like Facebook does all the marketing for you. So if you would open, let's say, even a Shopify store or something like that, how does people know that you have a Shopify store? How do they know that you're selling stuff? You have to bring them in. How do you bring them in? You have to run ads or some sort of promotions or stuff like that. So that's a huge cost, and you kind of don't have to worry about that if you do Facebook Marketplace. They do it for you.
What is your take on, obviously, you run a group, you're in our group, you see a lot of our posts, we're all in other groups as well. And often the topic of the day is 0 or low views. What's your thoughts on that? What do you do, if you don't mind sharing, what do you do to kind of combat that a little bit?
I think there's few things happening. First one, Facebook is a testing ground, as we said, right? So like with the Facebook shops thing, for example, it seems like they're getting less attention now. And I think one of the reasons why is because they are moving the search tabs for shops. I think they switched it, and they push less shops listing on the actual marketplace. I don't know if that's true or not. We don't really have much clarification from Facebook, so I'm not sure. But maybe they play with algorithm. Who knows? Okay, so there's something going on with Facebook itself. Another thing that I think it's happening is that it's the big push of Facebook Marketplace, when everyone just like list anything and they got sales almost instantly. That was happening like in 2020, 2021. You can still kind of see it. And then 2022, that they die out. I think that's just because people are just not buying on Facebook Marketplace as they used to. I think that push was caused by a pandemic, because I started during pandemic, and I started with eBay dropshipping, and it was insane. That time of the year was insane on eBay, and I discovered Facebook a little bit later. It was crazy too. And every month after that, it was there was a decline for sure. I think people just are not shopping online as they used to. There's also economy is not great. And another thing, I see this all the time. I see what people are listing, and it's pure garbage. Your pictures are terrible. I see screenshots. So I'm a dropshipper, so I see people taking screenshots of like products from Amazon, and it literally says Amazon in a title from Amazon. Like, it's like, how can
Or
you
in the
list this and expect to
description.
sell? Yeah, it's bad. So
Mm.
you can expect, to list whatever and get a sale. Another factor is also pricing. You need to have attractive pricing. If it's a saturated product, if there's 100 listings of the same product and you listed 10% more than most of the other people, how can you expect to sell and use the same picture, same
Yeah,
everything? Like, you're not going to get a sale. You have to stand out, and you can do
exactly.
it by having attractive picture, attractive pricing. And I always say like a clickbaity title too. Like, use the main keyword phrase for that product, delete all the garbage, and add some, I don't know, these buzzwords like new or something like that, just to get attention.
Would you
I think
suggest emojis?
No, I don't use emojis. Maybe they work, maybe they are, working, but I don't use it. I don't know. I just don't like them.
I think SEO is optimizing your titles and your descriptions is coming into play more now than before. Just the saturation of sellers. Facebook has to have a way to determine what the buyer is searching for and matching that up, and that's SEO. And so I think that, like you said before, we have a post going in our group right now that you could literally throw anything up on Marketplace and it would sell. Now you need to have, everything has to be as close to perfect as you can, including your titles and how your titles look on mobile and what keywords and long tail keywords and all that kind of stuff that is important. It wasn't important at first, but now it is. Selling population is slow to transition, myself included. It takes me a while to figure out, this stuff isn't selling. I need to make a change. And then I experiment and finally something starts working and I move forward, but it's always, I'm trailing behind and trying to, catch up.
We need to also remember that it's an ever evolving platform, just like Google is, just like any other platform. It's always going to continue to evolve. We're always going to have to stay on top of and change and fix and perfect what it is that we have out there. And if we've put a bunch of stuff on there and it's not selling, we have to look at what's going on and why. I do realize that there's some listings that if someone puts up a garlic press and someone's selling 100 of them, somebody else puts up another garlic press and that one's not selling, there's things that are going on in the background that are making the other garlic press sell that aren't on the other one, which is activity and other things, engagement that they've been able to grab from other people that maybe this other person hasn't. There's just so much involved and in play there. It's not just throwing it up and making it happen.
Oh, this is what I think. If something is not selling, lower the price. And you, Lisa, you're in real estate, so I think you understand this pretty well. If a product is not selling, lower the price, because that's what algorithm is just like behavior of people. So how can you have people click on your listing? lower the price, you know?
Exactly. That's one way to do it. That's for sure.
I think also if you're a drop shipper, you can easily make up the profits because you can charge for shipping more. If you're a seller, I'm not a seller on Facebook Marketplace, so it's hard to tell me like if you can charge more for shipping. Me as a dropshipper, I can hide my profits in shipping a little bit, and I can lower the actual price but charge more for shipping or something like that. If something doesn't sell, lower the price.
So a long time ago, you and I talked about, well, actually, all three of us talked about that you were kind of putting together a course.
Yes. So it's more than a course. It's more like a place for people that we are all dropshippers. The course right now, it's only for Facebook, but I'm working on other platforms too, on the ones that I dropship on. So it's gonna be more. But it's also kind of what you guys do. Like we have weekly meetings with different topics. We have guests. Last week we have Paul J. Lipsky as a guest. Marcus was
Oh,
there too.
whoa, hold on a second. Did I not send you a text to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got Paul Lipsky on there? That was pretty awesome. Anyway, go on. I'm jealous
Ye-
still.
you're invited to join. And anyone can join. So yeah, I just want to create like a place where if you're new, you will learn all the basics you need. That's why I have a course. If you are a veteran or maybe you know how to drop ship, but you need like motivation, because I think that's the big thing. Maybe some support. That's the place you can come and get all of that. It's like a hub. I want to have like a drop shipping hub for people that have similar interests. So that's what it is. It's called Dropshipping Guild if you guys want to check out.
Okay. All right.
And I will give
Awesome.
people who are watching this 40% discount.
Really?
The code's gonna be I love Lisa. That's gonna be the code.
Sign me up. Hold on a second. How do they do that? You're
I'll
awesome.
piggyback on Pat. So Patryk is, I can never quite remember where I found to dropship on Facebook Marketplace. I want to say I thought of it all by myself and just came up, but it was either between you, Paul, or possibly Cameron. It might have been all at the same time. And Patryk has a really good way of explaining things and making it exciting. And he's quick to come out and say, hey, sometimes this is just my opinion, but this is what's working for me. And he really does a good job rallying folks around him and getting that information out. We're all competitors. We all sell on the same place, but there's so much money out there and so many people on Facebook that you nothing but bettering yourself to join a community like this. I don't get to join as often because it's right at dinner time. Sorry, Patrick. Gotta feed my kids at some point. Which the other day they were driving. They were like, "What are you doing? Who are those people?" They were watching me watch it. And yeah, who is that guy? Patryk does a really good job getting folks to come on, keeping people engaged and stuff. It's a fun little community.
The one thing I love to do is hang out with people who have and believe in an abundance mindset, have an abundance mentality. And you guys both are exactly that. And there's so much room for everybody to be able to sell and to do well. And I've heard people say things like, "Oh, well, then that's less competition for us." But to me, it's not even about that. It's about being a community and coming together and finding ways to be able to help each other and to elevate each other to a new level. And I believe that that's why I partner with Marcus. That's why I'm friends with Patryk. And you guys are both that to me. And I just want to say thank you guys for that.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words.
Well,
Both
I
of
love
you.
Lisa.
Yes.
Patryk, you put out a video that you had posted last year on the Facebook groups of what was it wasn't Star Trek. What was it?
It's
I'll
the
link it in
Avengers.
yes, I'll link it in the description. It's cute. It shows all of us as superheroes.
Yeah, it's like a funny parody video. I remade like a Avengers scene into like Facebook dropshipping reality, and
Yeah.
you are in it, and it's it's all these YouTubers are on it, and it's I think it's funny, and I think it matches the current like vibe because it's the beginning of Q4.
What I would like to do is invite anybody who's watching this video to ask questions in the comments below, and we'll be happy to answer any of them that you might have on there. You know what? We love this platform. We know it's not the be all end all for everything all the time, and that there are also other platforms. I personally wouldn't encourage everybody to put all their eggs in one basket, but I would suggest you diversify what you do, because things always change all of the time. It's, to me, an amazing platform for a lot of people to do a lot of good.
I have something that I would like to share with your community, and it's something that helps me keep myself motivated and kind of accountable. It's like a spreadsheet that I use, and I call it a dropshipper goal tracker, but it also can also be a reseller goal tracker. It's just like a simple spreadsheet that allows me to actually get the job done. If you don't mind, can I share my screen and show it to you? And I will give a link to this. It's free. There's no sign up or anything. Anyone can use it, but I think it's just helpful. Can I share my screen?
Absolutely. Please do.
So this is the spreadsheet. The idea here is, I think it's useful during Q4. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity, because this is the time where you can make a lot of money. For dropshippers, I think the key here is to list every day, right? Every day you want to list something, and you can set up your goal. Let's say you want to list 5 products a day. Maybe you want to do 10, maybe 15. You can customize your goal. And in the spreadsheet, you can easily change your goals or add goals. So let's say I want to list, I'm going to add a new goal, which is list, I don't know, 30 products, okay, a day. And this is for the month of October. So let's say the first day of October, I did listed those 30 products. I did the same thing on the second day. And I also did this on the third day. But on the fourth day, I kind of felt lazy, so I went only with 10 products, okay? And you just mark how many listings you done this day. Maybe you did 0, so you're not gonna mark anything. And right here, it shows you the completion goal. And it's just a nice thing to see at the end of the month, how much work did you put in? And if you didn't put as much work as you wanted to, you can go to the next month and you can do the same thing. And maybe you actually will complete the whole thing, and you will have 100%. And it just helps you push you, okay? Because you don't want to slack on this time of the year. If this is something that you like to do, you like, selling on marketplace, it's cool to get you motivated and get you the job. I will share the link to this, free. Anyone can use it. There's instructional video too if you want it.
You know what that reminds me of? Your spreadsheet. You guys know I did real estate for 20 years. And one of the things that we had was a goal tracker exactly like that. And one of the things that's really hard for people when they're doing their own business is knowing exactly what to do every day and being able to keep that focus and do exactly what has to happen every single day to continue to earn the money. You can't just sit back on your laurels and think money's just going to come rolling in. You actually have to do the work. And we had a goal tracker exactly like that we would go in and we'd make so many phone calls. We'd do something else. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm in sales by day, and it really, at the end of the month too, these trackers and whatnot, that one's great because you can see the whole month. There's a really interesting Seinfeld interview where he talks about consistency, doing something every single day. And he had a big calendar with a big red X. And man, when you get 15 red X's, you don't want to break that red X. His was talking about he needed to write jokes, right? He's a comedian. He needed to write 5 pages of jokes or 2 pages of jokes, whatever it was. And having that consistency where you don't want to break the streak, you got, that's a real motivator to yourself, breaking the streak, and yours integrated that in there. And then it also it helps put you in perspective of, at the end of the month, you're like, oh my God, I was so busy. I did all this stuff and I still didn't get any sales. And you go back and you look and you're like, I didn't hit my listing goal 20%, maybe if I hit my listing goal, I'll, so whatever. We tend to focus on stuff that doesn't matter because that's what's right in front of us. When in this case, listing is the number one thing. You got to get something out there before you can even sell it. And so that's cool. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Of course. I also have a little sales background. I was in real estate too, so like I I know the mentality of these people and how do they try to
Of these people.
um continue doing their job, because it's a
It's
tough job.
it is. It's a very tough job. It works on your mental.
Mhm.
Maybe that's not the right word to say. It works, but it works you.
It's a lot of here, yeah.
Yeah, and what I like what you had to say, Marcus, that's actually spot on. When I first started listing and then I got my brother involved, him and I, we would toggle back and forth. We were kind of like, we would buddy up and be like, what did you get? What did you get? And we'd keep each other going and motivated. And our goal every day was list at least $200 in product every day, at least
Mm.
$200. And that ensured us a certain amount of income. Well, things have changed since then. It's not about just throwing up $200 worth of product anymore. It's about, a lot more than that. You still have to do the same thing. You still have to have the goals. You still have to move forward. I was talking to one of our members last night who was frustrated, and I said, what are your goals? And selling on Marketplace or Etsy or anything else, eBay, it's all about goals. If you don't have a goal, you don't have anywhere to go.
I had months that I was kind of directionless when I didn't have goals. Let's say I want to make that much in sales, or I want to list that many products. Whenever I had these months, I can see the performance going down for sure. Have a piece of paper, mark your progress. It's such a silly activity. It does something to your brain with seeing the progress going. And as Marcus said, you don't want to break the circle. You want to continue. You don't want to have missing X. Yeah, goals get you. That's what gets you going. That's what gets you to achieve your goals.
He's really set up something amazing where he could assign another list to somebody else to do the things that maybe aren't money making or money income producing things, so that he can focus on what's going to make him money. That could be like contacts, that could be finding products while somebody else is doing the listing part. I mean, there's so many other things that he could assign somebody else to do for him while he's working on something else to grow and bring his business to another level, which is exactly what Patryk did. Otherwise, there's no way he would have been able to quit his day job to be able to do what he's doing full time like this. You guys are amazing to me, and I can't express how grateful I am to have you guys in my life, to get to share all of this great information together. Do you guys have any parting words?
Party on. Let's go.
He's thinking about taking it. He's
Party
thinking
on,
about
Dave.
taking a nap here. So
Why are you saying I'm taking it? I don't get it. What's up with
because you're
that?
self-employed. You're self-employed. You can take a nap whenever you want. We're got more of these scheduled, so pretty exciting. Get back into it.
Thank you, both of you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.